Welcome to the Crumb Show.
Welcome to the Crumb Show. Back to Crumb. Jesse Marquez. Chris Reynolds. And Jerry Joe Pesci.
Crumb.
Here at the Crumb Show, we delve into the Crumb side of life.
Crumb.
We're all crumbs in one way or another.
That's right, Crumb.
So let's laugh, talk some shit, see what happens. What's going on with the Crumbs this week?
Crumb.
Welcome to the Crumb Show. I'm Fat Chicarella, Jesse Marchese, Chris Reynolds, and Jerry Joe Pesci.
Here at the Crumb Show, normally we get into the crumb side of life, but you could see we have a very special guest, a Philly legend, Mr. Tony Tornado, Phillies SuperPhan, Tony Penical. The man has more aliases than a criminal, but he's not doing any crimes dressed like that. Well, maybe in Philly. You never know. But welcome, man. Thanks for coming. We met Tony at the
Yeah, man.
Holy Savior Feast a couple of weeks ago. We know you guys watched and loved that video and shared it and sent it to all your friends, and they all love us. But, yeah, he was at the feast, and we were wrapping up, and I was like, man, we have to get him for the interview. So we went over and we talked to him. He was more than happy to do it. He followed four guys into a parking lot around the corner, so gotta respect him for that. But he'll get into his origin story, and you'll find out why he did not give a shit where we were going, because he would have knocked us all the fuck out. But again, Tony, thanks for doing it, and
Guys, thank you for having me.
absolutely, man. Thanks for coming dressed as Tony Tornado. You know, is that your official super fan name, Tony Tornado?
Tony Tornado. And I always say, when people call me and they'll say, I had to do a podcast, not a podcast, but a Zoom interview a couple years ago with Fox Tampa, right before I went down to spring training in 2021. That's when they were first opening things back up after COVID. And the guy goes, can I interview you? I said, yes. He goes, can it be over Zoom? I said, give me 10 minutes.
Nice.
And my friends are like, you did not do the interview in character. And all I said was, you didn't want to interview Clark Kent.
Right. Yeah.
You don't want Clark Kent.
Yeah.
You want the cape.
Right.
You want Superman, right?
Right.
And that's what I did. So
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so we're glad you did. You got a nice Phillies ring, like a World Series ring there.
This was the 08 ring.
Okay.
So last year they were giving out the 1980 ring, and I didn't get to go to that game, but they saved me one at Xfinity.
Oh,
I was
nice.
one of their favorite customers.
Right, yeah.
Dressed like this.
Right,
and I
yeah.
tipped them well. So
Right, yeah.
they saved me the 81. This year I went and I got the Bryce Harper 2022 ring.
Okay.
Sweet.
And then I said, nah, I need the 08 ring. That was, another championship. I got to get the 08 ring. And my one friend, lovely girl, wonderful girl, married a friend of mine. I still don't hold that against her. And I saw her the other day. She goes, that's a real nice one. How'd you get that? I said, oh, the Phillies I get their World Series rings when they get them. This has 108 diamonds. Really? I said, oh, yeah, this is the authentic ring. I said, no, I got it on eBay, $700. You paid $700? I paid $20.
It's nice, though.
Right, yeah, it's cool,
These
man.
things are great. They're heavy. You feel like they're.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Yeah, I have a replica Eagles ring from the last Super Bowl
Yeah.
they won. Yeah, it's sweet. They look fucking real.
They
Yeah.
feel real.
If you don't know, I front. Yeah, this shit's real. Got family in the business.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, coming from you, it's super believable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know what? You should get a ring. You should. Yeah, I mean, look what you're doing. I mean, you're part of the team, dude.
I came so close to hanging it up after last year. Because when I first started doing this 11 years ago now, all I did was, and I know I sent you guys that KYW article they wrote about me a couple weeks ago, and they asked me how this all developed. I said I just wear an Uncle Sam hat to a game mainly to annoy some relatives. And then I found one at Party City that was kind of cool. They won the World Series. It was my good luck charm.
Right.
And then it was falling apart. I met a guy in Chicago, had the exact same hat with accessories on it. He goes, mine's better. Step your game up. I said, all right, buddy. I'll step my game up yours.
Right. Yeah.
And then the original outfit designed, because my life was not fun anymore. I was at a horrible job. And the only thing that I had keeping me going was the Phillies, that 08, 09, 2010. And when they lost in 11, I said, I don't know. And then they designed the Apollo outfit. A woman designed it. And even though the Phillies were getting worse every year, I was having the best time going to the games. I was meeting so many people, and people would say to me, man, they stink. Why do you go to Florida? One, because I'm going to Florida in March, and two, because I'm having fun again.
Right.
I found my way to have fun. I left that job, too. I found my way to have fun again. And then the whole Jason Kelsey thing, they put me in touch with the guy that made his outfit. He shot me down at first, and I then got him to agree to it. And then I started doing this again. I was having so much fun. And then last year, oh my God, they made the playoffs and they make the World Series. And I had a friend of mine used to work at McFadden's at the ballpark. And when they were in last place, 100 losses, he's like, I'm losing tips now because they're doing so damn bad. He goes, we're losing business with Xfinity. I'm not making the money I used to make. And I said, you know what? When they turn this around, we walk in here together as champions and we raise our glasses and we toast. The next year I go back to a game and find out he had passed away.
Oh, man.
Wow. He was a heavyset guy. He had some health issues.
Yeah,
Had a heart
this heavy
attack.
set guy's got it bad, man.
Yeah, I know. But he was, he had some health issues. I think he was diabetic, had heart issues, had a heart attack that year, passed away. And when they were up in that series 2-1, I said, oh, my God, they could turn this around. And I want to go to that parade in attire to all the people that made fun of me for a decade saying, you're wasting your time. I wanted to stand there, throw up the double middle fingers and say,
Yeah, fuck them.
I got my validation. But I also wanted to raise that drink that I promised in 2015. I said, I wanted to say, Ron, this one is for you. And then they didn't win. I turned right around from that. I was doing so much work right down the street from here at the one Christmas tree place, Mr. C's. I was doing 40 hours a week there on top of my job. I was doing a 5K. I was doing so much, and then I got right into the Eagles. So my brain had no time to turn off. And then February 12th, I want to punch that referee right in the face. I still want to punch him right in the
Yeah.
face. And the grounds
him.
crew, I want to punch in the face. And after that was over, I was spent mentally, physically, emotionally. Didn't work out for a week. And then I knew Florida was coming up, spring training. I'd only worn the outfit one time since the World Series, and that was for a private birthday party for a special needs young man. Nobody in public had seen me in this outfit since November 5th. And I packed it, I got to Clearwater, and I looked in the mirror that morning, and I said, are you ready to do this again? And the guy in the mirror said, I don't know. I said, no. Are you ready to be that guy again? And the guy in the mirror said, I don't know. And I said, put it on piece by piece and see how it feels. And I put it on the wristbands, the earring, the trunks, the shirt. And I looked in the mirror and I said, you don't look like him. You look like a guy playing, pretending to be him.
You're a fucking superhero.
Yeah.
I heard the Rocky music the whole
Yeah,
time, bro.
yeah.
I'm getting pumped up over here.
I started walking down that hallway, and it reminded me, and we'll get to this a little bit later, the boxing days when I used to box. I lost a fight in Manhattan in 1997. I know I whipped the guy's ass. I know I beat him. Two of the judges disagreed. Two of the judges disagreed. And I was so upset, and I was like, I had a fight coming up in 2 months, and I was training physically, but not mentally. And that night came, and I put my stuff on, and I wasn't feeling it till he punched me in the mouth. And then I felt it.
That'll do it.
Yeah. And
That'll do it.
And then I woke up and I whipped his ass. So when I put that whole gear on again and I walked that hallway, I felt like I was walking that ring again. And I got off that elevator and there was a bunch of Phillies fans and they cheered. And I said, I remember that. The first guy goes, yo, photo op? And I went like this. And I smiled. The thumbs came up. I said, he's back.
Right.
He got punched in the mouth again and he's back.
Right. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's a part people don't realize when they see guys like you dressed up like this. Like you think yeah, he's a big fan, isn't that? But like you say, you did it for the special needs guy. Like I remember when I used to go to games when I was little, Phillies games, Eagles games, and when you see somebody dressed up like you, that made it fun. You know what I mean? People looked at you like, wow, look at this. You know what I mean? It just makes you want to go see people like you.
I was talking to the Fandemic crew not that long ago, and they rose to popularity a couple years ago when everything was shut down, and they just camped out outside the stadium every game. And one of the guys one of the founders, when they interviewed him about me not that long ago, and one of the things he said, he goes, the Phillies do a lot of great things to keep fans interactive, But he goes, but it's people like me or the Philly sports guy. He goes, because especially the younger people recognize us and they're like, oh my God. Like they're seeing somebody in person they've never seen before.
Right.
And it's like, we got to get a photo. And the kids get excited. And I'll throw the belt on their shoulder.
It's got to feel good.
It does. It does.
Got to feel good.
You know, I've had people come up to me and they've said things like, you know, you were so nice to my kids, or you were so cool, and you helped make our experience. And I say to them, I'm like, well, in a way, you helped make my experience.
Right.
Yeah.
Works both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, there's a bunch of Philly fanatics in them costumes. There's only one of you.
There's only one tornado coming through this town, baby.
That's true that. But yeah, man, that is true. You add so much to an experience.
Absolutely.
Not just for kids. Like when I seen you at the feast, I was like, oh shit, look at that guy.
Yeah.
I got happy, you know?
I'll tell you'll get a kick out of this. I'm at last night's game. I'm gonna go to Xfinity. You know, you get a beer before the game. Gates hadn't opened yet. I'm gonna kill some time. I'm walking in. They had a new doorman last night. I don't think he's gonna be there anymore after last night.
Oh man.
What happened?
Well, this guy, he's relatively new. The guy in front of me, he's like, let me see your ID. I'm like, this guy's 65 years old. I'm like, okay, I understand.
I fucking hate that.
You want to check people's IDs. This guy looks like he's on AARP.
Right.
He's on Medicare, buddy. So then I'm walking in. There's a go through the metal detector, which I know I have to. Let me see your ID. Give him my ID. He goes, you can't come in. May I ask why? You have that belt. No shit, buddy. I have that every game I come to.
The fuck? It's not a weapon.
That's what he said it was. He goes, it's a weapon. It has metal in it. Well, thankfully.
So does our cell phones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know what? So does this.
Yeah.
So thankfully, as the one manager's walking by, I'm like, yo. He's like, yo, what's up? I'm like, let me know. Is there a problem? And he looks at the guy and goes, is there a problem? He just wants to bring this belt in. He goes, yeah, he brings it in every time. Come on in.
Nice.
Showed him.
Yeah,
Fuck that guy.
There was a guy standing in line. I don't know this guy. You know, it looks familiar. Young guy, wife, 3 kids. He's like, Tony? Yes. Tony Pennicow? Yes. I'm like, oh shit, what did I do? He goes, you know my dad. I'm like, oh. He goes, his father started the boxing program where I went to college.
Oh, no shit.
His father was an amateur and a professional referee, just retired from doing the refereeing. Refereed about 3 or 4 of my fights.
Oh,
And
shit.
I'm like, and he goes, and I saw you at the MSS feast. And he goes, and I knew it was you.
Oh, man.
Big hat. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. He saw you twice in like a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And wearing ridiculous things each time.
Right, yeah. Well, he might not have recognized you if not for the top hat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
People ask me, they said, you know, you always wearing top hats. I said, you know, I go to New Year's party. I got a Uncle Sam hat with New Year's and lights up. I got this other kind of top hat, the one I wore to the feast, which is like a Joker's type of hat. And I said, God did not make me tall, but I wear tall hats.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Maybe I should start doing that.
Yeah, see?
My old lady always brings up that she likes tall guys.
You're not fucking short,
I know.
though. And he's
Yeah.
not short, like comparison, but you're not a short.
Yeah, but she likes. Yeah, she wants 6'3", 6'4". Yeah, I'm never going to be that.
Tell her knock her down a little bit, and then
You're
you
stuck
look
now,
taller.
Gary.
Yeah.
Picked him twice.
Yeah.
You're stuck with him.
Right. Forget about it.
Do you do this for the birds too? Are you? Well, first of all, are you a 4-for-4 guy?
Yeah, oh, yes.
So,
Absolutely.
So do you do it for all 4?
Well, I do the, and you can't see obviously right now, but I have the socks and the tassels on here for like the red and white ones here, and then I have the Philly sneakers on. I have Eagles, green and black socks.
Right.
I have green and black sneakers, Flyers, orange and black socks, orange and black sneakers. A friend of mine, and I think he made a mistake the other day. He sent me a video of himself. He's trying to come up with his own Eagles gimmick, but he's not creative. So he got a cowboy-shaped hat, not a Cowboys hat.
Ah, yeah.
It was
You're
a.
about to turn the mics off.
It's a Kelly green cowboy hat, and he put the Eagles logo on it.
Ah, that's sweet.
And he puts it on. And he sends me a video, and he's going, "Oh yeah, here for the
Nice.
Eagles,
Ah,
baby.
yeah.
Oh yeah." And I said, "You know what would work?" And I told him. He goes, "I don't know how I could do that." I said, "Actually, it's really easy. I've done it." Well, would I go to a tailor? I'm like, well, if you wanted it really professional, you could, but. And I'm like, wait a minute. I bet you I could do this. get a hat like that. I would probably go with the midnight green theme. I'm still more of the midnight green.
You don't like the Kelly Green?
Okay.
I love the Kelly Green.
You know what? Even when they had them back until I was about 20, I would always get the white with the Kelly green numbers.
Yeah, the white is class. Hard to keep clean. It's classy.
Yeah. But the midnight green, something caught me with that, and that the head logo instead of the.
Yeah.
But I was like, whether I did it midnight green or Kelly green, you get a satin jacket. Got to be satin.
Sweet. I
Yes.
love it already.
Get a satin jacket. Go to Walmart and buy fabric, a contrasting fabric. So say you get a green jacket, you get a white or a silver fabric, and you cut strips about this long, about that long, or about this wide, about that long. You cut about 30 of them,
Fringes?
and you glue them under the arms,
Yeah.
the back. You get a pair of pants. You do the same thing, right? And you become an Eagles macho man, Randy Savage. Ooh, yeah.
I love it. I love it.
That would be cool.
Like I said, a couple years ago, I was, well, what am I going to be for Halloween? I'm a WWE fan, obviously. And I like to be different characters, but I have to make the costumes. I can't buy them. I can't just go out and buy a Randy Savage costume.
Right.
So that's what I did. I got a red satin jacket, black and white tassels, glued the letters Macho Man on the back, put some sequins on it, got the black like runner's pants, did the white and red tassels on them, wig, shades,
Box of Slim
done.
Jims.
Macho Man.
Box of Slim Jims. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's pretty cool. And that was for the Eagles or for Halloween?
That was for Halloween.
That was just for
Randy
Halloween.
Savage.
Oh,
Now
okay.
my friend came up with this idea. I'm like, I could make a Randy Savage.
Right. Yeah.
His
Yeah.
outfit and be like, ooh, yeah, go to the games like that, brother.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's you need to be like on the payroll of somebody, even if it's just for like Xfinity Live or something. You need to be on a payroll for somebody, being the
Special
ambassador,
guest appearance.
I think we should make a push right
brand
now.
ambassador.
Right now, we should make a push for the Phillies to get him a fucking four-wheeler, and he should be riding around with the Philly Fanatic. No disrespect to the Philly Fanatic. I love the Philly Fanatic, but you should be out there with him. You should have your own four-wheeler
Yeah.
riding around. We should make a push right now, starting right now.
Let's do it, baby.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down.
A friend of mine pranked me with that back in the day. First year I got profiled down in Clearwater, 2013. I get a call, very professional sounding young lady named April. Her name was Kelly. And hi, we saw your profile, and I work with the Philadelphia Phillies, and we would like to have you appear opening day and ride in with the Fanatic. And I'm, of course, getting all excited. I found that it was a prank. Okay, well, she got me. Hangover 3 was coming out the next month. She's a Bradley Cooper fan. Loves Bradley Cooper. Well, Bradley Cooper's from Jenkintown. I grew up
Yeah,
in
he goes to the
Glenside.
games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Bradley Cooper and I only grew up 2 miles from each other, and we're only a year apart. Apparently, Bradley Cooper and I used to play pickup football together. We never did. She didn't know that. And because we're and I used to shovel his parents' driveway during when it snowed. And so I had
He was a lazy kid.
Yeah, he was going to college, and they needed somebody. He was away. He was in film school.
Right.
So she's believing
Mr.
all-
Hollywood.
Yeah, she's believing all this. And Hangover 3's coming out. I'm like, he hooked us up with 3 private passes to the Philadelphia premiere. Can I go? No. Me and my buddy that grew up with him were going, and our other friend for his birthday. Well, I really want to meet him. I'm like, oh, yeah, sure. So then I'm like, I messaged her one night. I'm like, dude, guess who I'm on the phone with right now? Bradley Cooper. I said, we call him Brad. Bradley's a Hollywood
Call
name.
him BC around here.
I was like, would you like his number? Really? I gave her the loser hotline.
Man.
You asshole. That's a hotline. I said, oh, it's not his real number? April.
Right.
Payback.
Prank
Yeah.
it back.
Paybacks.
That was pretty good. But yeah, man, that would be pretty cool. I'm sure you'll keep at it long enough, and one day it'll be like, you know what? You're our new guy.
Well, a couple years ago, I totally dropped the ball because I had this great idea for my one birthday a couple years ago. I wanted to throw out the opening pitch at the Phillies.
Yeah.
So I petitioned the Phillies, and they said, no. I said, but don't you know who I am? I'm the Uncle Sam guy.
Yeah.
They said, no.
Ah.
And then we petitioned. They shot me down. Last year, I'm in Clearwater, and I'm hanging out with the man, John Middleton.
Nice.
Ah,
And
shit.
John Middleton's like, this is why I love our fan base, because our fans are the best. And I'm talking to him, what don't I bring up? Throwing out the opening pitch. I did throw it out at Lehigh 2 days ago.
You brought it up to Middleton?
I didn't bring it up there. I dropped the ball. I forgot. I got so starstruck.
That was
He
a
meant
shot
by
there.
the ball.
But I threw it out at Lehigh a couple days ago, and I did it at Reading a couple weeks ago.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
The night at Reading was impromptu. I knew Lehigh I had set up for because I had a group outing there. And the guy was like, wait, you're the Uncle Sam guy? He goes, somebody from your group gets to throw out a pitch. We kind of hope it's you in costume. So now I'm like, yeah, it'll be me. And I'm like, you know, I better practice in this. 'Cause I don't know how it's going to rotate the arm and if it's going to throw me off. And then I'm like, somebody's going to be driving around Harleysville and they're going to see Uncle Sam at a baseball field throwing balls.
Right. Yeah.
And they're like, we better call him mental institute. And then I'm at Reading to meet the Godfather, WWE wrestler, the Godfather.
Oh, wow.
He was up there and hanging out with him. And guy I know was like, hey, I sponsored a thing here tonight. And they need somebody from my group to throw out the first pitch. So it's going to be you.
Are you in this gear at the Reading Phillies still?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
So I was like, I went up there. I was like, I had no practice time, and I threw a high and outside, but it did not dirt it.
Okay,
I did
good
not
job.
50 Cent it.
Right. Yeah.
Put it in dirt 3 feet from the mount.
Right. That's sweet, man. That's cool. But obviously, you guys could see the awesome Tony Tornado wrestling belt. You want to talk about that for a minute?
Yeah. Well, as I said a little bit ago, ooh, yeah. Wrestling fan, grew up watching wrestling, love it.
That's a sweet belt, man.
Thank you. Down in, if anybody knows, Phillies down in Clearwater is only about 6 miles from Hulk Hogan's bar.
Oh, wow.
I've always wanted to meet Hulk Hogan. I grew up, Hulk Hogan was my favorite.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah,
Hulk,
'cause you
yeah,
were
I was
the same-
Hulkamaniac.
Yeah.
Cried when he lost to the Ultimate Warrior in WrestleMania.
6?
Yep.
Yep.
Cried.
So,
Jesus
big,
fuck.
big time Hogan.
He cheated. You know what I mean? The ref was knocked out.
So, big time Hogan fan. And when I was in college, a bunch of my teammates were going to box in the East West Classic in Reno. I'm supposed to be on the card. My fight gets canceled because my opponent got injured. All my teammates are in the Frisco airport on a layover meeting Hulk Hogan. So every year I go to Clearwater and I go to his shop and he's not there.
Right.
And my buddy would be like, oh, look at my picture in 97. And I said, if I ever find that car, I'm gonna drop that fight, I'm going to whip his ass. 25 years interest I'm putting on that beating.
Right.
So this year I go down there and I signed up for a meet and greet.
Nice.
So
With Hogan?
yeah, with Hogan at his shop. So I go in there and he's like, I'm like, hi, Tony Tornado. He's like, hey, Tony Tornado, what's up, brother? He's like, you a wrestler? I said, no, man. I said, box. He goes, hey, face ain't busted up too bad. Thank you. Don't hit me, brother. So I said, hey, I'm coming to karaoke Monday night. I said, I brought the Thunderlips cape, but I figured the signature wouldn't show up on it. So I'm just going to wear it for karaoke. You're going to wear that to sing, brother? I said, yeah. Last year I go to sing, put my song choice in, Baby Got Back.
Nice.
I don't get called. You can only get a picture if you get called. So when he's leaving, I just run up, throw the phone on selfie, grab his hand, selfie. I'm like, that doesn't count. This year, I go there, Thunderlips cape, big white fedora with a feather in it, put my choice in. They said, Baby Got Back's too long. Fine, give me It's Tricky then. It's Tricky comes on. They're like, dude, you're second in queue. Last year I don't get called. Now I'm second in queue. He's not here yet.
Oh,
But
man.
he walks in, he goes, hey, brother, you made it. He goes, you're singing, right? I said, Hulk, I already sang. He's like, well, then you get up here because me and you are getting a photo.
Oh, shit. Is that the photo that you sent us earlier?
The one was from the meet and greet at his shop.
I thought you were going to say you did a duet with him. I was like, oh, my God, dude.
Yeah,
That'd be
me
fucking
too.
awesome,
The
dude.
Real American Duet.
Oh, I didn't think it had the Real American. Oh, yeah.
Or how about the Eye of the Tiger?
Yeah.
Oh,
Original
man.
theme song. Yeah. That was from his meet and greet the 2 days before. I
Oh,
did the sing.
okay. I gotcha. That's
But
cool.
I mean, I thought that was really cool. And with the WWE, being a big fan, well, my nephew, who is now 6, his first Christmas, I got to go be a mature godfather. I'm going to go to Toys R Us and I'm going to buy him the best first Christmas gift ever. Oh, wait, look, they got a WWE aisle. What nephew? I'll worry about him later. And I said, man, they got a replica belt that's going to fit adults. Ooh. And I said, I'm going to buy that. If that's the one. If I win my fantasy football league and I was in the finals and I won on Christmas night, the Eagles defense fumble return, against the Raiders. And I won the jackpot, bought the belt. So I started bringing it to Phillies games, the outfit. And one of the guys on the Phillies grounds crew I used to box with. So we're FaceTiming one of our teammates, and he goes, dude, get rid of that belt. I'm like, why? I kind of like it. He goes, no. You need a belt with your picture on it. And he sends me the link, UndisputedBelts.com. And you can put whatever pictures you want on there. You can pick your strap color. You can pick if you want the little bling on it.
Right.
So I designed what you see.
Yeah, that's awesome. And there's a bunch of tornadoes around it.
Yeah.
Where'd you get Hogan to sign?
I had that one with me in Florida, but only when I was doing the Phillies gimmick. I did not bring it to his shop.
I met Hogan a couple times. Terry, I call him.
Terry.
You met Hulk Hogan?
Wait, Terry.
Did you meet him, or were you just in the same building with him? Fucking bastard.
What's this here? Yeah,
Oh,
you're in.
That was the Rocky run last year,
Okay.
and you'll get a kick out of this. So the first year I did the Rocky run, my people that recruited me wanted me wearing this. I said, "No, you're out of your mind." I wore a black and gold Italian stallion robe, boxing trunks.
Right.
But that was a lot lighter than this.
Right.
So then, no run in 2020. I'm signing back up in 21. I said, man, you know it'd be cool if I could run as Thunderlips. Somebody found the cape. So the last 2 years, I cut the sweatpants that look like wrestling trunks, muscle suit, Thunderlips cape. The gentleman in that photo doesn't run. He walks, but he goes as the meat packing plant Paulie.
Yeah.
That's a good costume.
Yeah,
You
it
packing
is.
thing, Coley? Yeah.
You know where I saw him recently? Working the stand at Holy Savior.
No shit.
Yeah, I'm in there
hilarious.
and I see a guy looking over and pointing. I said, "Oh, what do I do now?" And then I walk over. He's like, "Yo, Tone." I'm like, "Oh boy." He's like, "It's Paulie." I'm like, "Oh shit,
Right.
what's up?"
That's awesome.
I didn't recognize you with the meat packing plant robe on.
Right. Yeah.
When you do it up wherever you go, though, huh?
Oh yeah.
Feast. That's why we no, we can't. We had to ask. It probably was weird, like 4 dudes coming up, like surrounding you, but you didn't seem to care at all. You were just like, "Hey guys," like
Yeah.
you weren't like, "What the fuck's going on here?" 4 dudes surrounding. Like we had to come meet you. So that's the only way we were going to do it, was like come up and introduce ourselves. Like, yo, we're going to come answer some questions around the corner in a dark alley over here.
Yeah.
Well, you know, part of it, and I appreciate that, is because you have to take a chance. You have to take a chance. Now, I'm a guy that will do that. I'm a guy that'll say, you know what, sometimes things might seem out of the box, but you got to take a chance because you don't know where things are going to lead.
Right.
You know, and when my younger cousin, and I say younger, she's 31 now, but to me, she's still like a kid.
Right.
And she's real shy. So she'll always say, like, how do you meet people? You're always meeting people. I said, one, because I'll go to places where I'm going to meet people, and sometimes I might have to pay for like a ticket to get in. The Hulk Hogan meet and greet was like $200. Don't care, you know, because now it was a chance for me to meet the man.
Right. Yeah. It was an experience.
Yeah.
Plus, it's like one of your childhood, you know,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you looked up to him your whole life. Like that's definitely worth it, dude. I'd like. You ever meet Stallone? Because he's at the games at the Eagles.
I
game.
have. That's the one.
That's
I
like,
have not
dude.
met.
I would love to meet Stallone.
Now, technically, I've worked with Stallone because being the best supporting extra of Creed 2.
Yeah.
Nice.
He was in Creed
I was
too.
literally 3 seconds in the crowd, and I was on the opposite side of the ring with him. But
In the
You guys-
movie?
I'll put
Yeah.
the picture
No
up.
shit.
yeah,
You could see him in the
Fucking famous.
see him on the screen.
Got
right
fame
there.
in here.
yeah, and I got that because I met the casting director, and once again, you take a shot, and you don't know how it's going to work out. 2005, they were having open call for Rocky Balboa, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm a boxer and I'm Italian. They're going to put me in the gym, and I'm going to hit the heavy bags, and all I wanted to do was hit heavy bags in the gym. And 3 days before, my appendix ruptures.
Oh my
I'm in the hospital, and they're literally wheeling me into the operating room, and I'm telling the anesthesiologist and the surgeon, you got to make sure I'm out of here by Friday because I have the audition on Saturday. And they're like, it's Tuesday. I said, I know. I got a movie audition in 3.5 days. You got to make sure I'm out of here. So I go to my dad. I'm like, Dad, can you drive me to this? And I put my best, boxing jacket on, my name on and stuff. And I go down to the audition, and I feel like crap. And the guy I'm standing with, I actually fought a few years prior. And he's like, you look like crap. I said, good. I'm not bullshitting anybody. He goes, but let me take, I'm going to make sure you're okay. I'll walk with you and make sure you're okay. So I go in there, and the woman looks at me. She goes, you want to read for a part? I want to hit bags, but yeah, I'll read for a part. What do you want? What part you got in mind? White trash thug in a bar.
I'll take it.
I'll do it. So I read for it, got my name in the paper.
Nice.
Didn't get the part. I was there for the last day shooting at the Art Museum steps. They had us all running up. I get cut. So now Creed's coming out a couple years later. I get the email about, submitting photos or whatever, and I'm like, fuck you. I ain't doing it. You cut me out. I'm mad. I'm still pouting. And then I watched.
Were you still in pain from like the surgery and all?
Oh no, not 10 years later.
It was 10 years
10
later.
years later, I felt pretty good. But I'm looking at this movie, and I'm like, or I knew that they were doing this all day, and I'm like, I ain't doing it. No, you cut me out of the last one. I ain't doing it. And then I go to see Creed 1, and they go in the gym,
Great movie.
and it was. I like Creed 2 better because I'm in it. What am I seeing Creed 1? A guy that I trained. And you know what he's doing? He's hitting the heavy bags in the gym.
Bastard.
Your heavy bags.
Hitting my heavy bags. But Creed 2's coming out. I'm like, oh, I'm doing this one. So I sent my thing in. They're like, yeah, we remember you, the appendix guy. And they're like, you want to be in the Vegas for a VIP fight scene? Hell yeah. When's my flight? It's in Delco. Oh. Yeah, I'll be in Delco, Vegas.
Nice.
Delco,
Grand
Vegas.
in Delco.
Right.
So they're like, but you got to come like you're a Vegas VIP. You just came off the craps table. So I put like a grayish button-up shirt on, partially down, tie with a flamingo on it, put my one earring in, fedora. They're like, dude, you are perfect. We don't have to change nothing on you. Because some people, they're like, no, that shirt sucks. Take that off. You're putting this shirt on. They said, we're actually putting you in the front row in the one corner.
Nice.
And for 2 days, I sat there, and you had to get up every time the guy would go down. You'd stand up and do like a wave and yell. And by the second day, I had no voice left. And I feel like I did 1,000 crunches, and I enjoyed every single one of them. People that I met on the film, I'm never going to do that again. I said, call me again tomorrow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, call me again
Yeah, you gotta take
tomorrow.
you took the chance. You got some opportunity.
Yeah, and now Carl Weathers was in town last year.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, now he was at a Comic-Con.
I love Carl Weathers.
Well, most
Yeah.
people that were going to meet him at the Comic-Con were going because of The Mandalorian.
Oakland Raider.
Yes, he was. Where did he go to San Diego College now? San Diego
I thought it was
State?
USC.
Did
Was
he
it,
go
was
to
it
USC?
USC? I might be wrong. I could be wrong.
I know it was two. It was California amateur, California pro.
Yeah.
So, but he's going to be in town, and I'm like, I got to go meet him. It's a
Right.
chance- I met Burt Young at the Plymouth Meeting Mall a couple years ago.
No shit.
Yeah, I met Paulie. You know, he looks better now than he did in the movies because they must have really beat the hell out of him. Like,
Right.
you're drunk, you're, like a loser.
Yeah.
You know, because he looks good now. He's like 83 years old.
I was going to say, he's got to be up there in age.
Yeah, he's like 83.
Damn, man.
I met him, he was about maybe 78, but he look real good.
Isn't that crazy? Because in Rocky, he had to be in his 40s then, right?
You know, you want to laugh?
And-
You know how old he was in the original Rocky?
How old?
36.
That's
Jeez.
insane.
Yeah.
That's how it was back then, though. Like, guys in their 30s and 40s, like they were 50, 60.
Yeah.
You know what I
He
mean?
was 50. And he looked like miserable and beat up.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Right.
So Carl Weathers is going to be in town, and I'm like, I got to go. And I know most people are going to go meet him wearing all Star Wars gear. And I'm talking to my dad. He goes, "You're going to meet Carl Weathers?" I said, "Yep." He goes, "Please tell me you're not going to do what I think you're going to do." I said, "What? Dress as Apollo Creed to go meet Apollo Creed?" He goes, "Mm-hmm." I said, "I am." He goes, "Good, because if you weren't, I was going to say you don't got the ball." So he's like, he's like, "This is going to be an ultimate photo. You cannot not do that."
Right.
So yeah, I went up. He's in the line.
Apollo Creed, Rocky 4?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I went like this.
Right. Okay, right.
So he's in the line, and there's this one person coming over with a little Yoda. Sign my little Yoda and whatever. And he looks over and he's like, and I'm like, yeah, I know it looks better on you. Then I found the most soul-searching Carl Weathers question that I could think of. Did you really lose your hand in Happy Gilmore? Are you afraid of alligators today, Mr. Weathers? Did Drago really kill you? My question was, in Rocky 4, were those really your golden retrievers? Because I love golden retrievers. That was what I asked him because no, they weren't mine. It's like anybody could ask different questions. I'm asking about dogs.
Right. Yeah.
No, I loved him
That
on.
makes sense because they were Rocky's turtles. Rocky's dog.
Cuff and Link.
Yeah, we still
Yep.
got him.
Yeah,
Cuff and Link.
But
That's one of my trivia questions.
Carl Weathers was on Arrested Development. If anybody ever watched that,
Yeah, I love Arrested Development.
I loved his character on the rest of the. He played himself,
Right.
Yeah.
but he was hilarious. He's great. I love Carl Weathers. I would have met. Where'd you meet him at?
He was at the Philadelphia Comic Con last April
Oh yeah,
down
for
in
the
Center
fucking-
City. Yeah.
sorry. For the Mandalorian.
Yeah. Like there was one person there with like a stuffed Alf they asked me to hold for a
That's
photo.
awesome.
So I held an Alf.
Alf's coming back.
Yeah,
That's what I keep hearing.
I heard Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds is bringing it
Are
back.
you serious?
Yeah, I wasn't joking there. Ha!
Nice.
Willie.
All the way from Planet Melmac.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Ron.
Hide your cats.
Yeah, man.
Willie.
I see you sent us a picture here. You met Chaz Palminteri?
Yeah. And,
Jesus, you know everybody.
Well, Chaz Palminteri, have you guys ever seen The Bronx Tale?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Who loves The Bronx Tale?
Yeah. Yeah.
Has anybody ever seen his one-man show, The Bronx Tale?
Yes.
Yeah, we saw it.
Amazing, isn't it?
Fabulous.
Yeah.
It's
Amazing.
better than the movie, I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
and
I like
agree.
it. Yeah.
So,
And the movie's fucking awesome, but that one man show is fucking mind blowing.
Real quick, when I was working at the Sheraton, he was doing the one-man show down the street at the Valley Forge Casino,
Right.
and they had Ralph's of South Philly. He comes in, the guy at the front, he was like, yo, can I get a table? He's like, now we're clowns. And I'm like, you don't fucking...
that's just Chaz Palminteri. This is
You
Sonny.
don't fucking tell Chaz
Yeah, right.
Palminteri your... I didn't
Oh,
even
he told
work for that
Chaz
guy. I
that.
worked for the hotel. But I cursed that guy out. I was
Good.
like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah,
I didn't know
really.
who he
What
was.
is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did not know
Should have
who
locked
he
the door
was.
and be like, now you can't leave.
Yeah. Put him in the bathroom.
Yeah, put him in
I
the
was mad
bathroom.
as hell. But anyway, proceed.
Well, the first time we went to see the show was 2015 at the Valley Forge.
Oh, yeah.
And
That's when we saw it.
I had come up with some idea. Like I had emailed all my friends. I'm like, yo, I heard this is coming to whatever. A couple of days before the show, and I was like, yo, nobody ever got back to me. They're like, oh, we bought tickets. I'm like, assholes. That was my idea. They had one ticket left. I bought it. So I went, and I walked in there with high expectations. I walked out saying that exceeded anything I could have hoped for. And my friend's wife, she makes a great point. She goes, when you look at him on the stage, what do you see? You see Sonny. But you're really looking at C. And I'm like, that's a great point. So we saw it again in Atlantic City. And then a couple years ago, it was coming to Glenside, where I grew up. And I told my dad, my mom had never seen the movie. I said, listen, I'm buying you guys tickets. You're going. And I bought like 8 of them. And it gets postponed 3 times because of COVID. So finally, it comes there in 21. And I'm there with the same friends that I went with the other times, my parents, a few other people. When it's over, a group of us go across the street to the Keswick Tavern, because that's, like I said, right where I grew up. I drank many nights there, got in many fights there.
Is that the Keswick Theater?
Yeah, I went to the Keswick Theater, then we crossed the street to the Keswick Tavern. So I'm in there talking to a friend of mine from high school, and my 2 friends come back. They're like, Natalie and Chrissy just met him. I was like, bullshit. Look at the photo. I said,
Oh,
they
man.
saw a Bentley parked outside, and they figured that was the car picking them up. They followed it. They walked around the corner, and they saw him coming out of the building. So now, of course, I am jealous. Going into the show that night, I'm wearing that red, white, and green tie in that photo that I wore, and we're going to bring that tie is going to be a Hank Cisco tie-in too.
Okay.
So I'm walking into that tie. I guess he's Chaz Palminteri's like assistant. They call him Sandy Blue Eyes. He goes, yo, that's a great tie. I goes, I love that tie. I said, oh, thank you. He goes, did you bring one for us? And he smiles. And I said, next time I will, I promise. I'm thinking there's going to be no next time when they're coming back here. I don't know. So my friends meet him. They get their picture. Come to find out, he's coming back 6 months later because they had so many shows that had rescheduled. I jump on Amazon, buy 2 of those ties. They were $13. So I come there that day. It's a Sunday matinee show. I'm walking in Sandy Blue. I say, oh, man, whatever. He goes, I told you 6 months ago, I love that tie. I said, do you remember what I said 6 months ago? He goes, can you refresh me? I said, pull the tie out of my pocket. In the plastic, I'm classy. I handed it to him. He goes, really? I said, that's for you, man. And I said, by the way, and I pulled my other hand. I said, I got one for him, too. He puts his hand out. I put the tie back. And I look at him. You know what I mean. And I know that you know that I know what you mean. And he looks at me, and I'm like, oh. And he goes, how many in your group today? I said, it's just me today. He goes, here's a wristband. Stay in your seat. Now, I don't ever remember there being a meet and greet after a show, but he was probably after he met my friends Natalie and Chris. He was like, shit, I can make money for this.
Right.
How much money? $150.
Wow.
I got it for 2 $13 ties.
Nice. Wow. That's awesome.
Sweet.
We seen him at that. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, where he lives now, he's not in the Bronx anymore. He's right in Westchester, New York. 9 miles from where I won my first boxing match.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's cool. He has a restaurant up there. He has a restaurant maybe in the city.
Okay.
I think, in New York. Pretty sure he's got a restaurant.
The story of how he sold Bronx Tale is like the best story I've ever heard in my life. It's just amazing, dude, how that went down. Like how he was broke and he held out because he wanted to play his own part. And
Yeah.
Bobby D, like, just call him Bobby D. But how he just saved it. Like that story is amazing, dude.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes if you look at some of the greatest movies out there, same thing with Sly with Rocky, right?
Yeah,
Said
another
he was
one.
broke. He was
Warner
broke.
Brothers turned him down, I think. Wasn't Warner Brothers turned him down? Or somebody turned him down.
They
Somebody
said
big.
we wanted, like, what was it, like Ryan O'Neal or somebody to play the Italian Stallion? You don't have an O'Neal play the
Yeah.
Italian Stallion. We want Barbara Streisand to play Adrian. That movie would have been a one and done.
Is that who they wanted to play Adrian? Barbara Streisand?
I heard Barbara Streisand was in there. I heard, like, Susan Sarandon was in there.
That would have been a dud.
It wouldn't have made it.
Only Adrian could play Adrian.
That shit goes throughout movies and TV shows. If you knew who they had actually planned on being and who you would never
Right.
picture them being it. Whoever, like, we could never picture anybody but Sylvester Stallone as
Right.
Rocky. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Can't even imagine.
I mean, if they would have gave me the part as the white trash thug in a bar, you would have never even know who that other guy was. I still don't know who that guy was. I did
heard
hear
they're working on a prequel,
a Rocky prequel.
like from him being little, like a teenager.
That'd be awesome. I didn't even think
What
about
part did they need me for?
Yeah, right.
Corner thug? I'm
There
in.
you go.
There you go.
I hear you. We bumped into Chaz Palminteri in that 2015 at the Valley Forge Casino. Mm-hmm. I wasn't sure where the theater was at, so I started to start walking,
That's right. I remember that.
and
Yeah.
ended up going down this hallway, and I looked, and there's like 15 people behind us. I was with just these two guys and another guy, but another group of people seen us walk and figured we knew where we were going, which we didn't. So we get down, and there's a dead end, but then all of a sudden the door opens, and probably Sandy Blue Eyes.
Yeah.
And then Chaz came out, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I don't know if I said, "Hey, Chaz" or "Mr. Palminteri."
I think you did. I think you yelled, Chaz.
I just blurted something out,
Yeah.
and he just turned around. And for the story, I like to say he did this. I forget what he did.
He did
might
something.
He might have just waved.
He
or something.
definitely reacted.
Yeah.
I remember.
Then we had to turn around and find out to go to see the show, which, like you said, was a phenomenal show.
Yeah, I always say it's like when you look at him on the stage, and at the time he's like 71, 72 now, I think. When I saw him, when we saw him, he was probably in his early to mid 60s. I said, you are looking at a 3-year-old man. But when he does those scenes, when he's talking like himself as a child, like, but Dad, whatever. It's like you see a 9-year-old child.
Yeah.
You see it in his face.
Right, yeah. All right. You mentioned on your boxing career and the Norristown boxing guy, I guess, Hank Sisko was. Did he have a program, like a boxing program or something?
Hank did. I didn't meet Hank until he was in his 80s.
Oh, okay.
And friends of mine that grew up, like I said, I grew up in Glenside, and my friends grew up in Norristown. And the way I kind of got with them was when I moved to Glenside, where my grandparents lived. When you're 6 years old and you move 2 miles away, you ought to move across the Atlantic Ocean.
Right.
And I'm at my house one day and didn't have any friends, and I had a cousin that was kind of a troublemaker. And he was like, hey, these kids I know are up at the park. So I go up and meet these kids. They're my age, and we're playing, whatever. And a couple of them were in Norristown, only a few miles from here. And come to find the other kid was a Glenside kid, and his grandparents are friends with my grandparents.
Oh, wow.
We were in school together, so every weekend these kids from Norristown would come down. We'd hang out all the time. And then years later, as we all became adults, or at least we don't act like it, but we became physically adults. My one friend from Glenside literally lives no more than a mile from here now. And so they would always tell me about this guy, Hank Sisko. And he was like a Norristown legend, and he was a boxing legend. And I knew Sisko's bar in Flowertown, it was the same family. And I'm at the Valley Forge Casino one night, they're having fights about 10 years ago. Next thing I know, he's in the ring. And this 89-year-old man has a microphone, and I said, I've never seen a guy so natural. I said, he's never met a microphone he didn't like. My dad used to work with his son-in-law, so they introduced me, and it was more like a, hi, how you doing, shake hands, take a photo. And in my mind, he forgot it as soon as it happened. But he didn't. So a couple years later, I was going through a real dark time in my life, real dark time. And I was on my way to Clearwater, and I just looked at my Facebook, and a Facebook friend suggestion was Hank Sisko. And I said, you know what? I'm going to take a shot. That's going to be the theme tonight, right?
Right.
I'm going to take a shot. Add friend. I said, he probably doesn't remember me. He probably this 90-year-old man will probably doesn't even look at his Facebook. Oh, shit, he accepted already? That was within a matter of seconds.
Wow.
And he saw we were doing a Sinatra fundraiser, and he goes, do you want to promote it on my show? And my pseudo-aunt was the one putting it together. And I said, listen, I said, sir, I'm going to Florida right now, but I'll send it to my aunt. She goes, no, do it when we come home. I need you on here with me. So me being me, I said, I'm going to show up on his show in a sequin tuxedo. So I wear this gold tuxedo. And he's sitting there and he's like, and bring pictures and we're going to do a show and tell. And he's singing, Que Sera Sera. And I'm like, this guy is amazing. And the one picture I showed was me in my old Phillies outfit. And he stops and goes, you come back on my show wearing that? 2 months later, I'm back on. And we're talking about Rocky Marciano. We're talking about Smoking Joe Frazier. And we're talking boxing. And he would always say, hey, I'm having this dinner. Can you come to this dinner? Sure. I need you in the Phillies outfit. I'm like, Rock. Hey, Rock. It's January. It's like 20 degrees out. Now my outfit don't have sleeves. Tornado? Need you in the Phillies outfit. And I would always do it for him.
Right.
So when he got sick in 2019, I came to see him in the hospital. And my friend that runs the Collegeville Bakery, Steve, calls me and he goes, listen.
Great sandwich.
Oh, they do. Yeah. Yeah, great food there. I was there the other
Love
night.
the Collegeville Bakery.
So Steve calls me. He goes, listen, I just want to let you know they're bringing Hank home. They're bringing him on home hospice. I know you just got the Phillies outfit, the new one. Get to his house. Get to his house within the next week so he can see it before he passes. I said, okay. So I go there right before I went to Clearwater, and I'm driving to his house, and I'm coming from Harleysville. It's about a 25-minute drive, and the whole time my stomach's in knots. And I'm like, am I ready to say my final goodbye to Hank Sisco? I had only known him a few years, but he meant something to me. And I'm driving there, and I'm like, I walk in his house. Yo, Tornado! I said, this is a guy that's supposed to be gone in 3 days? He lasted 10 months.
Whoa, shit.
Wow.
And every time I went to see him, he was so positive and so upbeat. And he used to do a Christmas dinner right at that 1912 Club, right down on New Hope Street, I think it is.
Okay.
And they would always have me play Santa Claus. It was like, and that year, 19, he obviously couldn't go. He was, bedridden. And I said to his daughters as we were sitting there, I said, it's a shame that he can't be here tonight, but I'm working the Christmas tree lot tomorrow a block from his house. Why don't, when I finish my shift at 5 o'clock, I throw the Santa suit on and I bring Santa to him instead of him coming to the event? And we did that. We sang Christmas carols to him, and by that time you could tell he was close to the end. He was kind of like, you could see he was hearing us, but he was not really responsive. A month later, it was January, it was freezing cold. I'm driving to work. They called me. He passed away overnight. And they said, we would like you to be a pallbearer. And I said, I never said no to the man when he was alive. I'm not going to say no to him now. But I will not be wearing the Phillies outfit. And the day of the funeral, it was like 17 degrees. It was freezing cold. And one of the other pallbearers was a professional Elvis impersonator. And we're on the left side, or the right side, we're holding with our left arms. He's number one, I'm number two, and there's like two people behind us. And I tapped him, and I said, if it was up to him, you'd be dressed as Elvis right now. I'd be in the Phillies outfit. Now, what was I wearing? I was wearing a black shirt, black slacks, and that red, white, and green tie.
Nice.
As we're carrying him out, Monsignor from Holy Savior is there. Nice tie. I'm like, thank you. A little awkward timing, but thank you. I appreciate that.
Right.
So that night, I go home, and it was a long day, and it was cold, emotional. I get home, and I said, man, I'm sitting there at the house, and my friend calls me, lives right around the corner from here, and he goes, how you feeling, man? I said, it was a tough day, long day. He goes, what are you doing right now? I said, nothing. He goes, get in the car. I want you to come over. I want you to get out of the house. I want you to come over. A late birthday gift had come from my godson. He goes, I want you to bring him his gift tonight just because I want you to be around people. I want you to, pick you up a little bit. I said, okay. So I'm at the house. My phone rings. Collegeville Bakery. They said, what are you doing Sunday? I said, nothing. I don't have any plans. They said, same special needs young man that I did that appearance for this year. They said, we're having a surprise 37th birthday for him because he was going to have his heart liver transplant soon. So they wanted to do that before he had it. They said, we would like you to surprise him at his birthday party. I said, I will be there. What time? 2:00. We got one request. What? Can you wear the Phillies outfit? Hank, one last time you had to get me there. And that was it. But I was on his show 4 times.
Right.
2 times with him. 1 time when he was in the hospital, but we didn't know it was terminal. So I was going to cancel. I was like, I'm not going to go on if it's not Hank, you know. And they called me. They said, we kind of really need you because we need somebody with personality. And I remember looking in the camera, and I was like, yo, Hank, you know, you're going to beat this. You're going to come back. We're going to have a big pasta dinner. And then I was the first guest back after his passing. And they had called me. We had scheduled it in like December-ish for late January of 2020 before COVID. And they said, they called me on a Monday. They said, hey, could you do Wednesday, this coming Wednesday? And I said, unfortunately, I can't because I have to arrange my work schedule. He passed on Tuesday. And I said, thank God we didn't have that show because the host would have been a basket case. I would have been worse.
Yeah.
And it would have been the worst show.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah.
So when it was 2 weeks later, it was a chance to, you know, decompress and then come on there, pay him the proper tribute that he deserved, and then do a good show.
Right, yeah. I caught his show one time, and it was hilarious. He had Tommy Lasorda's brothers. I don't know if he had 3 or 4 brothers. And it really wasn't Hank was trying to make it an interview, but when you got 3 old school guys, especially 3 brothers, they're just going to talk over each other and just talk shit. And I watched the whole thing. I loved it. And it was just like my family is from down around where the Holy Savior Club's at. So I spent a lot of time in Lou's. My cousins own Lou's, so we would just hang out there with my grandpa all day long on Saturdays and Sundays. So all his friends would be hanging out in Lou's or out front on the steps. And watching that show was just like sitting in Lou's at the counter. Like Hank asked one of the brothers, like, how much was your first paycheck? And one of the brothers said, I think $15 or $20. So then Hank said, well, how much did you get to keep? And before the brother he asked answers, the other guy, one of the other brothers, chimed in, keep, you don't get to keep nothing. You gave the whole damn thing to your father. He might have gave you a couple dollars, but you gave the whole goddamn thing to your family. And I just cracked up the whole time because it literally made me feel like I was 10 years old, just down loose, sucking down a milkshake. Just listening to these old guys talk, not knowing what the hell they're talking about, but it's funny. Yeah, but how did you get into boxing itself?
Well, I guess I was kind of born into it. No, growing up, late 70s, early 80s, always had the fights on Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
My dad, loved boxing, and we came from a family, being all Italian. My grandfather and my great uncle, who passed away when I was only 7, they were both big Rocky Marciano fans.
Okay.
And Hank Sisco had trained with Rocky Marciano, so that was one thing that
Get out.
it really can. I have a picture of him when they were both like maybe late 40s.
Oh,
they
shit.
were together, like in the late 40s, I should say. And my great uncle was at the fight when Rocky won the title in Philadelphia. So I watched so many fights with my dad: Sugar Ray Leonard, Boom Boom Mancini, Tommy Hearns, Marvin Hagler.
Yeah, some boxing was good.
Yeah, the early stages of Mike Tyson. And I just remember one day I'm like, I'm going to do that. I'm a short, fat kid, but I'm going to do that. And then I used to hit the heavy bag every day, and I thought I was good. I wasn't. But I could punch. I could punch like, a mule, but no technique, no skill, didn't know how to get in shape. So now I've been, doing whatever, and like, I'm going to go box in college now. And because it's about 30 or 40 schools in the country still have boxing clubs. Lock Haven, where I went, being one of them. My cousin kind of recruited me there because he wanted me to join his fraternity. So he dangles the plastic worm out there saying, you can go up there, you can box, you can be a national champion. Then he's going to get me, figure I'm going to go up there, I'm going to get my ass kicked, and then I'm going to forget that, and I'm going to join his fraternity.
Right.
And I went up there, and I got my ass kicked, and I came back for more. And then I started training in South Philly, and I just loved doing it. And, it gave, such a rush. And then, you got to, one piece of advice I give people now, especially younger people that I talk to, I said, when I was, young as a teenager, when you're a teenager, you're all trying to put your mark on the world, and you don't know what you're doing. You know, you're just throwing shit at the wall and you see what sticks. And I played football, and I was okay. I wasn't that good. You know, I was a backup. And I tried to join social clubs. And a lot of them didn't accept me, you know. We don't want you to be part of school council. You know, we don't want you to be in this. No, you're not going to get elected for this. You're not going to be like a prom king. You don't fit the mold. So I was like, well, what can I do to stand out in front of people? What can I do to make people notice that I'm somebody? I can get in fights. That's a great idea. And I would do that because if people knows that I can kick their ass, that maybe that'll make me popular. And it didn't, you know? And then when I started boxing and I started believing in myself a little bit, I don't have to prove anything to you or you. I said, if I don't have to start a fight with any of you to try to prove to you that I'm somebody. If you want to see that I'm somebody, you can come this Saturday night. I'm fighting, and you can buy a
There you
ticket,
go.
and you can see that I am somebody, and I believed in myself. And I tell people now, I said, you know, when you're angry and the world sucks, and you want to, you know, just explode, find a heavy bag. Because that heavy bag don't run in a gang. It don't carry a gun.
Right.
It won't call the cops. It won't ruin your life. What that heavy bag will do is take everything you got until you're so tired, you're so exhausted, all you want to go do is go to sleep, and you're not angry anymore, and then tomorrow it'll be waiting for you again. And I tell that everybody I talk to. Because, hey, it may have saved me.
Yeah, it's good advice.
And then when I wasn't boxing anymore, like I had, you know, I had 1 semester to go in college. My eligibility was up. And I was like, well, I'm just going to piss around like an idiot, right? Tore the ligaments in my thumb playing flag football. Flag football, not even tackle football. And then I was training again. I had 18 months I was out with this almost. And then I was training again. I hurt my shoulder, broke my ankle. I was going to train with a guy, getting him ready for a pro fighter, getting him ready for a title shot. I was going to be one of his sparring partners. That's when my appendix ruptured.
Oh, shit.
So I kind of then was away from it. And like I said, I would still do the workouts and all that, but I kind of knew that there was a reason that I wasn't competing anymore. And I needed that same rush, though. I needed that same rush that I got walking to that ring.
There you go.
And here
What was your record?
See, it's hard to say in amateurs because they had some, like, I know I lost fights in my first year. I ended up being around 15-15, but I was a 2-time All-American in college.
Nice.
Yeah.
Any
There's
KOs?
Boxing clubs.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a boxing club.
Yeah, it's a boxing club sport. And our coach, our head coach at Lock Haven just passed away last February. But he was well known. Like, he was well known as a boxing coach and as an amateur wrestling coach.
Oh, nice.
So he would tell us stories like going like this wrestling seminar here, and then he was one of the team managers of the '96 Olympics team in Atlanta, Georgia. And he said, "Man, there was this pain in the ass kid on the team, talented, but what a pain in the ass." And all he would do was, he was the youngest guy on the team, and he'd bum quarters from all the other boxers to play video games. Who was that boxer that would bum quarters? $1 billion Mayweather.
No shit.
Yeah, bumming quarters.
Right.
What if you ever paid those guys back?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, good chance.
I didn't know there was boxing clubs. I went at Monaco. We had Fight Club.
You don't talk about
You
it.
We don't talk about it. So don't ask me back.
Yeah, the first rule of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club.
Right.
Yeah, Chris doesn't like rules.
But
Not a rule guy.
Penn State still has one. I know Ship still has one. Lock Haven, all the service academies, Army, Navy, Air Force.
Oh yeah, I'm sure those guys.
It's cool.
Smoking Joe. Yeah.
Yeah, you met Smoking Joe Frazier and Marvis, right?
Yeah, it's Marvis. I was 17 there. And
Okay.
I was working. At the time, I was a 5-star chef at Roy Rogers.
Oh, yeah?
I was a chef.
Roy
Okay.
Rogers was the shit. I
Love
Rogers
Roy Rogers.
was
Yeah,
Hell
the
yeah.
Fixin's bar
Yeah.
in Lansdale or what?
Well, I worked at one in Glenside.
Oh, Glenside. There was one in Lansdale. That was the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was working the one day, and my dad goes, "Yeah, Joe Frazier's doing a signing," and I'm like, "Oh, Joe Frazier is doing a signing." And my one friend was in there eating lunch. He was like about 125 pounds. I took my shirt off. He's swimming in it. I said, "Dude, handle my shit for 2 hours. I gotta go meet Joe Frazier." So I went and met Joe, met his son, and then a couple years ago, when they did the Joe Frazier statue dedication right outside Xfinity Live, I was going to a Phillies game that night. So I went early to the statue dedication, and then I went to the game. So I was taking all the photos and I actually turned them into like a music video.
Oh, nice.
And the one photo that you saw of Marvis and I together, I'm showing him the picture. I'm showing him that picture.
Okay.
And someone snapped the photo as I'm showing it to him.
Oh, that's real cool.
Sweet.
That's real cool.
It's a shame Joe didn't live long enough to see a statue. And here's one thing that people make a common misconception on. Why didn't Joe Frazier get a statue? They gave a statue to Rocky. No, they didn't. The statue from Rocky was a movie prop
Right.
Yeah.
that MGM paid for. And then the Philly goes, wait, you're going to give us something free that's going to be a tourist attraction? We'd be stupid not to take it. We're going to make money off it.
Right.
The Joe Frazier statue, see, if you have a sports team, an Eagles, a Phillies, whatever, like, okay, we'll do the Phillies, Harry Callis. The Phillies paid for the Harry Callis statue in Citizens Bank Park. That was paid for by the team. They picked the sculptor and all that. When you have a private entity as a boxer, people have to raise they have to raise that capital. So Joe Frazier, I know because I contributed to that. They said, okay, we want to do this statue. We got to bring up $10,000. So people started contributing, and then then they argued where it was going to be, and so on and so forth, and then they finally put it together.
That's awesome. He definitely deserves a statue.
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely. And you met Brandon Graham here?
Brandon Graham, yeah.
Brandon and BG.
BG.
Yeah.
I had lunch.
Love BG, man.
I had lunch with him shortly after that.
Really?
Yeah. Is this a Collegeville Italian bakery?
It is.
They
Pizza
got
box.
everybody on the wall.
Yeah.
They got everybody.
Yeah.
I'm on the wall.
Oh, you're on the
no
wall?
shit.
Oh, check it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm right above the soda machines.
Okay.
Nice.
Next time I go in there, I'll check it
That's a
out.
great place to eat, man. I might go there.
But I haven't eaten in there. I've gone in to get stuff and roll out, but I haven't eaten in the back room in a while.
Have you
They make
guys
good food.
ever had the Brandon Graham pizza?
No.
Well, Brandon Graham has his own pizza there. And
What's on it?
I always get the sandwich.
it's a Detroit style pizza with
Oh, he's from Detroit, yeah.
Detroit style pizza with bacon, pepperoni,
I'm listening.
and it's got that brick cheese on it. It's really good. So when he came out with it before the 21 season, I got it. I enjoyed it. So now early 22, I knew they were doing a big sports convention with a lot of people going to be in King of Prussia. Steve calls me up and he goes, "What are you doing Saturday night?" I said, "Nothing. I got a free night." He goes, "I want you to come in for dinner. We got a surprise for you." I said, "What is it?" He goes, "It's a surprise. What do you not understand about a surprise?"
Yeah, right. It's not how a surprise works.
I said, "Well, what should I wear? Should I wear something Italian? I know it's not going to be Phillies. They're in spring training. Should I wear something Italian related? Should I wear something, Eagles related? Hint, hint. Can't tell you." So I said, "Okay." So then a couple days later, he goes, "Oh, I got bad news. We had to postpone it a week." So I'm going to be in Clearwater. He goes, "You're going to miss it." "What am I going to miss?" "Can't tell you." "Well, why can't you tell me? I'm not going to be there." I said, "I'm going to bet any amount of money it's going to be Brandon Graham. He's still doing that signing." So here's what I'm going to do. And I pissed Steve off. I went to the bakery, bought the Brandon Graham pizza. They have his sticker on the box. Cut the top of the box out. Go to the signing. I get in his line, and I said, "Bet you nobody watch our pizza box." And he goes, "I'm going to be there next week." I'm like, "I knew it was you." So they ended up postponing again because that weekend it was supposed to be, it snowed. So when I first met him, I did the photo with him first, sent it to Steve. He's like, "You're a jerk." You had to ruin the surprise. So I text a picture to my mom. My mom, little Italian lady, about 5 feet tall, never raises her voice except to me. And she goes, "Did you tell him what I said?" I said, "When I get to his signing line, I will." My mom, Super Bowl 52, this is an honest to God, I swear to God, true story. This woman did not say a word for 3 quarters and 13 minutes. She just sat there. Come on. As I'm pacing back, I paced 6 miles in the route. My Fitbit tracked 11,000 plus steps.
Jeez.
So as I'm pacing, all of a sudden, she cups her hands to her mouth and goes, "Sack Brady." Next play.
Wow, really?
Humble Rooski.
Yeah. So I tell him that, and he's like, "Oh, tell her I appreciate it." So now the next week, he's going to be in there. I go in. They postpone it. I go in there the following week to get some rolls, and Steve goes, "Can you be back in 2 hours?" I said, "Should I wear my Eagles jersey?" He goes, "Yeah, but shh, keep quiet." I said, "Okay." He's like, "Don't social media it." So I go, and I'm like, "Mom, you got to go for a ride with me." "Where?" I said, "We're going to Collegeville Bakery." "Why?" "We're going to meet Brandon Graham." We are? I said, yeah, get in the car. But I got to ask that. No. I can't bring you both. Get in the car. Yeah. Car. He gets there. Now, Brandon and his family are already there. I walk in, and he gets up, and he gives me this handshake and the hug, turns, and he sees my mom, and he looks at her. And he just wraps her in this big bear hug, and he goes there, he goes, I heard you wanted me to sack Brady.
That's
I
awesome.
can
You remember?
hear you in Minnesota, and I got him just for you.
That's so,
Yeah.
That's
Great
cool
story.
shit.
And his pizza's really good.
Yeah,
So
sounds like it.
last week when I had that private practice access, I was right where the defensive linemen were stretching. So before I get in, I'm first in line, and I'm taking selfies outside of the training camp sign. And I'm putting it on Instagram. Brandon follows me now.
Oh shit!
Because we're bros.
Right,
He
definitely.
follows me.
Nice.
And then after practice is over, he comments, he's like, oh man, whatever, that's a great picture. And I messaged him, I said, yeah, but look at this. And it was a picture of him stretching.
Oh shit! Okay. Little stalkerish.
Yeah, a little stalker. You're like 10 feet away. So picture of him stretching. I'm like, yeah, you're stretching right there. He goes, I didn't know you were going to be here today, bro. I'm like,
Right.
I couldn't tell you, like, yo, Brandon, I'm here. You'd stop practice. Like, I got to go say hi.
Does he know about your Phillies?
Yeah.
Thing?
Yeah. He's never seen me wearing this, but he's liked and commented on photos
Oh,
that I
okay.
posted on Instagram.
Dude, there's your in for the Eagles. Eagles Macho Man, right there. You know Brandon Graham. Brandon Graham and the Macho Man. Come on, it writes itself, man.
Do you know like the other guys that dress up like you down there, like the Birdman down at the Eagles games? Do you know other guys that do this?
Well, last night when I was at the Phillies game, I was hanging out with the what do they call him? Like something luchadors. I don't know if he's the Phillies luchador, but he has like the wrestling mask on, like the luchador.
I can't think of their
hanging out
name.
with him. I was hanging out with the Philly chain guy that has like all like the chains around his neck. I was hanging out with him. I didn't see Philly Sports Guy last night, but I know he was there because I had seen one of his videos that he posted. Sean Young from the Eagles. He was the original guy with the shoulder pads.
Okay.
I hosted him at the bakery back in February,
Oh, yeah?
week before the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So, because he kept saying he saw the Brandon Graham pizza. He's like, I got to come up and try this. Got to come up and try this. So I told him, I said, when you come, you know, I'm 15 minutes away. You call, and if I'm available, I'll just jump right in my car and meet you over there.
Right.
So,
That's awesome.
Well, what's next for you? What are you doing? What do you got going on? Got anything coming up, like appearances?
well, Friday night, I am going back to the Phillies game. Like, people ask me, do you come to every game? I said, no, my bank account and my liver
Right.
would both be dead.
Right.
I said I would never be able to do it. But I'm
160 something.
Yeah. And I said, I am trying. I'm not trying. I am going to be there Friday night because I work for Independence Blue Cross as my day job. I'm client relations. And my one largest client, I was on site in their office for 3.5 years. And they were bringing me back to the city right before COVID hit. Because they said, we got what we needed out of you, which is them to stabilize them and sign a long-term deal. And I didn't want to leave, but they said, you don't have a choice. You got to come back. And a week later, COVID said, you got to go home.
Oh,
Work from
shit.
home. And I work out of my living room every day, you know, and I'm like in a tank top.
Right.
Nice.
Today I felt like crap, and I was like, I was on the one conference call, like, you sound horrible. I'm like, good. Then you know how I feel. A little tired here, people. But my client company is having an outing Friday night at the Phillies game. Guess who's going to crash it?
Nice.
They haven't seen me in 3 years. Well, they're going to see the whole...
Yeah. Gonna learn
You
today.
guys the whole thing, brother.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man. If you could transition to be the Eagles guy,
Yeah.
Why?
would
I
love to
wouldn't.
see that.
You know,
Money.
It's...
Well, yeah, money.
Well, you know, but the thing is, well, like, see, I don't have season tickets. Like, with every sport, with every team, I pick what games I want to go to. Like back in the day when I was in my early 20s, you know, even though I didn't have Eagles season tickets, I would still I'd pick them up through people I knew.
Right.
And the tickets were even it's expensive, but not like it is now.
Yeah,
You're
it's crazy now.
Yeah, it's like,
Dude.
oh my God, I'm getting Eagles tickets for like $50. I'm like,
Yeah.
that was really
And then
good.
parking and everything
Yeah.
else. You're spending
Now they're like
$200 for you.
100. I forget what my buddy was like. Oh, I got tickets. I'm getting tickets to this game. It's gonna be like $200.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm like, for what? A ticket or
Yeah.
a fucking VIP? Like, are we get like what do we get for that?
Yeah,
Nothing.
and then $40 to park.
Yeah, I'm not
it's
doing that.
insane, dude.
So I
Insane.
get why you. I mean, and you're not gonna go tailgate, pay to park just to tailgate in those Eagles. Maybe you would. Maybe that's how you get yourself in.
See,
You'll just pay to park and fucking stand out there with the.
sometimes what I would do is if, like back in the day when my dad used to go to a lot of games, now he's 75 now, and he doesn't really go to like he used to. But back in the day, we had this setup going, and this was like it was his idea. He went to a couple games at the old vet with me, and he had fun. But he's like, you know what? I like the tailgate more. He doesn't even drink anymore. He had stopped drinking by this time. He goes, I just like to go down there and hang with everybody. We would go to FDR Park, which had like the field, so it wasn't like you were on concrete. We would be right at FDR Park by the field. He'd be like, I just want to go down there and cook and see everybody and have fun. And he would bring our dog, my golden retriever. And those two would hang out all day. The dog would play so much. My dad would be like, today I'm going to make a deep fried turkey. I'm going to deep fried turkey down at FDR Park. Today I'm making like a crab, whatever. I'm making lobster bisque. I'm making this. And he would just stay outside while I would go into the game. Him and the dog would hang. They'd listen a little bit on the radio. If somebody had a TV, they'd watch a little bit. He didn't care about the game. He cared about just the social fact of it. And then when he kind of stopped going, I would go to like 1 or 2 games a year, but I would take the train and the subway because I'm like, if I'm going to drink, I want to really just cut into it and have fun.
Right.
I don't want to drive by myself. So this is ironic. We started, my dog was 2001 to 2016. And we were taking him to games up until about 09 or 2010. Every game he went to, they won. 4th and 26, Vinny's in the parking lot. We got it.
Right.
Oh, well, we're a 14-punt underdog? No. Vinny's out there. We got this. Never lost. If I went to a game without him, they never won.
Oh,
the
shit.
only time they won that I didn't bring him to a game is when T.O. broke his ankle. So that's considered a loss to me.
Right.
They were playing. Oh, they were favored in this game. They'd lose by 40 points. They were getting killed. Now, when he passed away, the following season, I was going to a game, and I brought a milk bone with me, and I went to the tree we always got our picture at. That the one time we had a group picture with a big Dallas Sucks sign, and I knelt down and I put the milk bone under the tree, and I said, "Vinny, don't be a dick. Let me win. Let me win this game today. Do not be a dick." They blew out Denver like 45-7.
Oh, shit.
I was like, all right,
Like that, right?
Thanks,
all right,
Vinny.
man, we're back.
Right on, man.
So that's what you got. You got you're going to. So this will be your first time back at a Phillies game in full garb in a while, or what?
That was the game, a Phillies game.
Yeah.
That was the Phillies game last night.
Oh, that's right. Duh. You
Yeah.
said that. I thought.
Yeah, I'll handle this interview section of the podcast, Chris.
Nice.
How long you been hitting the feasts dressed as do you have a name for your Italian thing yet?
Just a tornado.
Just a tornado?
You know, most people now, like anymore, a lot of people just call me Tornado anymore.
Okay.
It's like, and they make it as fun. 'Cause like on the back of any jersey I have says Tornado.
Ah,
Because
cool.
if I get a player, he's gone. Who's your favorite player in the league? He goes, I love Jalen Hurts. Yeah, well, you know, I'll buy a Hurts jersey and he'll be out of here next
Yeah,
week.
do us a favor.
Yeah.
Don't buy a jersey.
Yeah.
Put his name.
I'm not
'Cause
buying any
Don't
jersey
jinx
anymore.
that. We need Jalen.
Nope, I'm not buying any jerseys anymore. Only guys I'll play that are either long retired or have since passed.
Yeah.
I can get a Reggie White
Throwbacks are the
jersey.
way to go.
There's nothing else I can do to Reggie White. I get a Reggie White jersey. But it just got to the point of like, but go Tornado. And it's like,
Okay.
and people ask me, why does the back of this outfit say Tornado? But and I always joke, I said, that way my dad can't wear it. Like you ever would, right? But I said, because when I'm walking, I hear so many people, if they're trying to call me, I won't respond to, hey, you.
Right.
Mr. Uncle Sam. Sometimes I'll respond to Apollo because I've gotten used to hearing that. Tornado, yo.
Right, yeah. Hey, man, that's your brand.
It's like
It's
you're
cool.
calling, like, yo, Tony. Yo, Tony, yo.
Right. How long you been hitting the feasts? I was wondering that.
I started going to the one in Bridgeport originally.
That's the best one. That was the best one.
I loved the one.
Best
in
one
that was
ever.
the best one.
Love the one in Bridgeport.
I miss it.
Yeah, so do I. We started going to the one in Bridgeport probably around 07, first year I went. And then we started going to Holy Savior. And then, like I said, I get up for everything I do. I'm
Right.
not a person that can just go to an event and just sit there and say, I'm going to go to an event today and I'm going to get a roast pork sandwich and I'm going to go home. No, I hype myself up for everything. And it gets hard sometimes because you will then, burn yourself out. But I'm a person like, when my feet hit the ground in the morning, I'm already internally revving.
Right.
What can I look forward to? And here's how a philosophy I have in life. and I will tell this to children, adults, anybody. My dad goes, "What's your favorite season?" Everyone. "What's your favorite month?" Everyone. And he goes, "Why?" He goes, my dad goes, "I like fall and November." I said, "Okay, I like fall and November too." I said, "But I have something that I like every month." January, what do you like? Playoffs start. NFL playoffs. New Year's, love New Year's. February, what do you like in February? You're single, you don't have a Valentine. Yeah, but I got the Lock Haven boxing show. I'm still the vice president of the alumni. March, I'm going to spring training. April, home opener.
Right.
And I'm like, April Fool's Day, WrestleMania. Got my ticket for WrestleMania.
Yeah, Philly, baby.
Birthday gift from me to me. May, springtime, weather's starting to get nice. My dad's birthday, can do something nice for him. June, I have different events.
My birthday.
Your birthday.
There you go.
So-
Then we say July, 4th of July. Love the 4th of July. It's like August, Italian feast. NFL starting.
Yeah.
September, national holiday, my birthday.
There you go.
October, Halloween. November, Thanksgiving. I do the Rocky Run. I start doing the Christmas tree lot down at DeKalb and Hancock.
Okay.
December, Christmas, love it. Everything, if you can look forward to something.
Always got
you know
something to
you're
look
always
forward
gonna-
to.
You're going to enjoy your life.
That's it. Words to live by, folks. Tony?
Well, no, but
Good advice.
But before we do that, because when this hits, it's going to be huge. He's going to, we want to tell the people where they can find you.
Oh, yeah, your socials.
So I just got on TikTok. Just started that because people are saying that you got to get trendy. But
Yeah, TikTok's the way to go.
the way to go. You can find me on any type of social media using the handle Tornado TP. And people say, what, Tornado toilet paper? If that's how you remember it, absolutely. But because my name's Tony Penicow. Tornado, Tony Penicow, Tornado TP. I also have a Facebook fan page, which chronicles all my Phillies stuff, which is Facebook handle or at Phillies, like the baseball team, Tornado. So Tornado's the theme here. Nice. But Tornado TP, Phillies Tornado, Tony Tornado. If you go on Cameo now, I'm a Cameo talent. I never knew I had talent. But a few years ago, I'd be at a game. People were like, "Are you on Cameo?" I'm like, "Listen, I sent a thing," and they never responded to me. I guess they're not interested. I'm not really a celebrity. And I had a guy that I met in Clearwater was in the hospital. They said, "Can you do a greeting for him?" I did a greeting at Lehigh Valley, the Iron Pig Stadium. I just shot it one take. And then a few weeks ago, a girl goes to me, she goes, I have somebody that's a big fan of yours. Are you on Cameo? I said, no, I'm not. She goes, let me see what I can do. Okay, person I barely know. Next thing I know, I shot this guy a video. The next day, you're approved.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
So now I've just shot my 4th Cameo video. So if
Nice.
you go on Cameo, you look up Tony Tornado on Cameo, and there I am, and I'm easy to recognize.
Right
For a
on.
whopping
Appreciate
$13, you can get a birthday or a anniversary greeting from me.
There you go. Hit him up on Cameo.
I appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, man,
Tony,
this
thanks
was
a lot,
awesome.
man. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
It was
this is
fun.
awesome. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Always a pleasure to talk to my
Yeah.
fellow feasters.
Yeah, man. Paisans. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Check Tony out on his socials. Follow and like us on all our socials, and we'll see you next week.
All right.
Ciao.
See you.